Yo, what's good, man? Hit that thumbs up button, man. Hit the notification button so you get all the notifications. So Baron Davis, former NBA player, and Master P, who was just selling pancakes over the summer. Remember when Aunt Your Mama and they were canceling everything? They canceled cops. They canceled every offensive stereotype related to black people. Well, when they canceled Aunt Your Mama, Master P came out with his own pancakes, the P Miller pancakes, some shit like that. And then he was selling noodles. And I admire Master P as a hustler and his ambition, and he'll sell anything. He'll sell water to a whale. You know what I mean? But apparently, him and Baron Davis want to buy Reebok. Now, Adidas bought out Reebok a few years ago. Now they're ready to sell it because Reebok doesn't have the shoes is probably as less popular as ever been. They don't really have that chokehold on the string on the culture that they used to have. They used to make jerseys. They used to make everything. Reebok was popping. Not so much, Jay-Z and 50 helped them out a couple, back in '03 with the S dots and the G unit sneakers, but Reebok's been struggling for a minute. So now P Miller and Baron Davis want to buy it. I'm just gonna be a real. It's $2 billion, $2.4 billion. No one's asking what I'm asking. Who's the silent third partner? Because it's gotta be some rich Jew or some rich white guy that you'll probably never hear about publicly, or you'll probably hear about it 2, 3 years down the line. As I know, Master P ain't got $1 billion, and we know Baron Davis ain't got $1 billion. Not that I'm counting these brothers' money, but they're public figures. When especially a rapper, a hip hop mogul, if you making it like that, it's almost in your nature to tell everybody, and you get published in Forbes. Same thing with Baron Davis. Basketball players, athletes get their money publicized more than anybody. So someone who's non-black is most likely the silent partner who's gonna probably put up most of the money. And like I said, I just don't like how they deceive us constantly and try to make it seem like, this is black business. And it's like, no, it's not. It's like Ice Cube's my guy. But when Ice Cube did the Big Three and launched it a couple years ago, they made it seem as if Cube put all his money up and did it. And no, he had a silent partner. He had two silent partners. Same thing with Magic Johnson. They tried to paint it out like Magic Johnson bought the Dodgers. Remember that? He didn't buy the Dodgers. He had a percentage. He had a percentage, a small percentage. Now, I believe he owns like 50 million or something like that. The team is worth several billions of dollars. He has a percentage. He's not the owner, but every black media blog site and every radio show and everyone who reported it, oh, Magic just bought the Dodgers. Hip hip hooray. I'm like, no, let's be for real here. Let's be Pacific. Ownership is real and authentic. And I get tired of them advertising false black ownership when it really ain't there. It's not what you think half the time. I remember Nelly owned some percentage of the Bobcats. That's not the way they presented it. They just told you Nelly bought the Bobcats. You know what I mean? Same thing with Usher and the Cavs. Of course, the one of the biggest jigs of all time when Jay-Z brought the Nets, and they lied and said, oh, they're gonna bring all these jobs and this and that, and Hove got Brooklyn on deck. Hove got the team. Hove owned 2%. He owned a seat in the building, a seat in the house. But the way they put it out there, they deceive black people who don't read or comprehend, as if this was a black man buying an NBA team. And then of course last year the biggest jig was, when Jay got the job, with the NFL, and people was like, oh, y'all just need to stop. Hove gonna infiltrate the structure, and he gonna change it, and he gonna come to change it within, and he gonna get Cap a job. It's been a year, bro. Hove is the A&R and basically the Super Bowl halftime coordinator. That's what he is. But the way that they publish it, they try to make it seem like Hove is doing big business with the NFL. Like he was gonna buy a team and all that. So then again, here you got it now. You got two proud black brothers, and I salute them. I grew up watching Baron Davis. I grew up listening to Master P. I remember Master P, No Limit. They used to put out like 50 albums a year. But this isn't the first time Master P has been in the sneaker business. He was in the sneaker business before. I think you all remember. I remember the P Millers. I remember the P Miller sneaker. Banks, like Banks said, shit could get uglier than the Master P sneaker. The P Millers. They didn't do too well. You know what I mean? The P Millers was out there for a minute, and they flopped. And it wasn't like he was trying to. I remember Shaq used to sell those Shacks in Walmart. He specifically sold cheap shoes so he could, for less fortunate people who could buy them, less fortunate families. But Master P couldn't sell sneakers 15, 20 years ago. So now they want to buy Reebok. And the thing is, Reebok is just now starting. Like they're gonna start because typically they don't. Shoe shops don't exist really here in the United States. They usually do it overseas, and you got a bunch of Asian kids somewhere in a sweatshop working for 10 cents an hour. But Reebok is has a shoe company or whatever. They build their a shoe factory in Rhode Island. You know, ain't too many black people in Rhode Island. So you're not providing black people with jobs, and then on top of that, we all know you two aren't the one that's, gonna put all y'all money up to buy it. This is $2 billion business you're talking about buying. That's how big shoe business, and it's bigger than a shoe company, but that's how big a struggling brand is still worth 2.4 billion dollars. Let that sink in. A struggling shoe brand, relative, because that's their bread and butter, shoes. They do licensing deals and they did jerseys, they did a bunch of stuff, but they're a shoe company. That's what they're known for. And even in their demise, they're still worth $2.4 billion. There's levels to this, man. It is not, like I say, it's going to be a challenge. Like I say, Master P did the pancakes earlier this year. You could get your P. Miller pancakes. He did the P. Miller noodles and all that. But this is not black business. This is trickery. This is deception. I mean, I grew up in the urban fashion era. Every rapper had a clothing line, but nobody actually really owned their clothing line. Like you had a clothing line that was do a distribution deal with like Mark Echo, or you know what I mean, or something like that. No one ever straight up 100% owned anything that was popping. A lot of times they just use black people as blackface, no pun intended, to be the face of a franchise or the face of a brand. Like Ice Cube would be the face of Big Three. Magic in a sense. I wouldn't say he's the face of the Dodgers because he's more known as a Laker, if anything. But it's the face. Same thing with Jay-Z. The NFL, is it a coincidence they brought him in while they were under all that scrutiny and people were calling him out for being racist and screwing Kaepernick, and then they bring in a proud, wealthy black man to come save the day? No, they used him. And the check was good enough, so Hov said, "Okay, let's sit down, Roger. Let's talk. Let's have a talk." I think we moved past that. You know what I mean? All that bullshit. You know what I mean? But so Reebok is gonna use Master P, and I guess they'll probably have rappers. They'll probably try to get in contact with rappers who could help promote the brand if they eventually buy it. Maybe Baron Davis can get some of his old school buddies, his old school NBA buddies to promote the shoes and whatnot. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Like I say, I'm not hating or anything, but it's not black business. This is not black business. When it's 100% owned by black and then you provide jobs for black people, that's when you could talk to me about black business. This is not black business. This is just another tale of deception of showing you that, oh, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, and it ain't what you think it is, man. But it is what it is, man. Like I say, hit that thumbs up button. Comment, whether you like what I said or you don't like what I said. Comment, hit that like button, man. I'm out of here.